but certainly more so than, say, your Anubises of the world.
Well, if we look back to Team Germany's series against the United Kingdom, it was Nesh on that Widowmaker who's a real bright spot for this team, especially on first point. So Germany looking to resurrect some of that dominance, be as successful as they were before. France looks like they're expecting it. They're setting up on this Genji Sombra comp so aggressive. It's going to be really difficult for Nesh to find a position to free fire unscouted. If you're on Widowmaker, that's what you need to create, a scenario in which you can just fire aggressively into the backline. But Germany perhaps ready for a comp like this. They don't feel that they can even make the Widowmaker work on offense. Nesh is already onto the Sombra.
Well, it's interesting because Nesh has been so good in the Sombra, but you're right. He's shown really good Widow power as well, but for now, this is what Germany's going to be running with. Meanwhile, for France, no big surprise here. Nico is going to be coming in here on the Genji.
The big surprise for Team Germany is that Cranks is on this Hammond. We'll see if he actually commits this and wants to roll out on it. We've heard tell of this. No, he's going to go back to the Genji. And now we have a full mirror matchup for here between Germany and France. Both teams on the same comp. Let's see who does it better.
Germany, of course, here on the setup. They're going to give Nesh a little bit of time to get to the back line and give him a little bit of intel.
Nesh has a very passive translocator. This is a very safe mission for him. He's going to be the first step in for Team Germany. Get that scout off, gets the hack onto Poco. Poco getting poked down, has no matrix, but it's Nico already lighting it up onto Progi this quick into the hack.
France has been so good about targeting tanks in every engagement. Their priority, #1. Meanwhile, Invest was able to get out. Gets healed back up. France being very good about, hey, we're a little bit damaged, we're going to back out. Give Unco time to get us back up, and that's why he already has a nano boost.
The nano could be big here. Benbest potentially looking to take that. The nano Winston comes in right onto the backline, puts both supports so low, even though they have the Bionet on. Benbest is out DPSing it. He does get traded down, but taking out that main healer is so important. Soon, he can stay aggressive. There's no sleep to worry about. Nesh forced the TP, but you can see Soon knows where he's gone. Sees that animation, trying to chase him down. We'll see if he can find him.
This might backfire for France, though. They're going to be down one way longer than Germany will.
Although Benbest on that Winston, he's going to have a quick respawn. Soon sees that translocator. He knows where Nesh is. It's time for Nesh to look for a play, and Soon's ready to expect it.
Benbest is getting real close to being back in the fight. France, of course, wants to wait for it, and yeah, he's going to be back in. France back to full strength. Oh, Dragon Blade answered by an EMP. Cranks can't dash here, but it doesn't matter as much. He's still able to be a part of one elimination. Goes back the other way. 2 pickups here for Germany, so it's not the worst. The EMP from France doesn't get what they want, and Germany is not phased. They're going to get point A.
Craig's Genji looking really good there. Got the Dragon Blade up before Nico, and the impact you can see is palpable. Even though he gets EMP'd, he still puts the value out, and Nesh's EMP doesn't let them escape, even though the Genji has no abilities.
Now, as we roll into the next point here, do you think we're going to see change-ups at France, or are they just going to stick with this?
Well, the Sombra really gets stronger on to second point. Those health packs are even more important to control. You can see France sticking with their composition. They feel confident, especially with that Nano Blade coming online. It's Germany who's going to be making the swap, but I like what they've got here. They've got this Lucio to enable the Hanzo. He's going to be able to get aggressive alongside his Brigida and maybe get some pickoffs. It's on Cranks here to open things up.
France, of course, holding back. They have the Genji, Dragon Blade, Nano Boost combo set up. Poco can start things off the bank. Self-destruct to the back, takes down Mete, and Nico piles on the Dragon Blade. All sorts of cleanup coming in there. It's not a sword, it's a broom.
Nico slicing and dicing, finishing off what Poco's bomb couldn't. That's great plays from Team France, getting very aggressive. Commit 2 ultimates there, not too much, not too invested here. Soon you can see him already in the backline, trying to farm up that EMP. Nesh feels the pressure of the Sombra, makes the switch over to the McCree. Now it's going to be a lot harder for Soon to make plays like that. He's going to be fearing this double stun combo that could potentially take him down before he can translocate out. And
you look at Nesh here, where he's always going to be looking to his backside here. Always going to be aware of the Sombra, but France being really aggressive. Nano boost on the Benbest here from the back. He's just trying to get as much fleet as possible, but he has to reposition. Soon's down, and Germany, after investing the barrier, man advantage, rolling onto the point. France not with a lot of options, and they're going to have to rely on Benbest here on the Primal Rage, but already getting chunked! So much health down, he gets nothing off that Primal Rage, and suddenly Germany, 2 ticks to their name, Benbest has fallen, and Nesh is laying in the damage on that McCree.
France has to deal with Nesh on the McCree, but Nico does find a way to take him out with the headshot. The EMP from Soon. This could be a turning point for Team France. They're getting back to the point, and it's Wiz with the feet, saving everybody. Now Soon, not afraid to get aggressive.
Progi got away. Progi's still in the fight, but Cranks ends up falling. Germany cannot reposition. Progi's still so low. And Germany gonna go for the full reset, but getting 2 ticks that early with 4 minutes left, that's not bad.
Soon on that Sombra, looking for more. Remember, when those players get below half HP, Soon can see them through walls. That's a major advantage for Sombra in these scrappy fights where it's hard to keep your team healed up.
Germany now going to be going at it one more time. 4 minutes left. Nesh with the Deadeye. How does Germany set up this next fight?
They have a lot of options here. Transcendence, so powerful, but Nico does have the Nano Blade. A really high-skilled Kenji can cleave through that Transcendence if he can find the right slash-dash combos.
So the goal here is going to be finding a way to deal with Nico. Nano Boost coming in, it's on Benbest, it's not on Nico. They don't go for the Nano Blade. In Germany, they invest in Transcendence. As a result, Nico gets blown up! Mente somehow got him on the self-destruct! And now they don't have to worry about the Dragon Blade for a while. They're at a man advantage. They're moving on in. They got the sleep in the back, flashbang, Eden, but it doesn't really matter. France down 2. Self-destruct makes room, but you look at Germany, they're all very, very healthy right now. The rally armor's still on them, and France can't even stay on the point.
The pressure is so hot there from Team Germany. They get onto the point. Those 2 stuns, it's so hard to contest into that. You can see Poco drops onto the point. He's putting the Matrix up so that Nesh can't take him down with the flash, but the Brigitte shows up, stuns him, and then they just completely bust that mech. He drops the bomb, instantly taken out. There's no stall on the point. Now McCree is just too difficult to deal with. They can't take him down.
And the scary thing here for France is that was a very quick time being set by Germany. 3 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock. That's a Volskaya offense you can feel good about.
France certainly needs to set a really hot tempo here. Get in quick, take that A point, take that B point. You need to get that overtime round with a healthy amount of time in the bank. Volskaya first is really hard to take with just 1 minute on the clock, so France needs to do better than that. They need to give themselves at least a fighting chance here on Volskaya.
Of course, France now going to be coming out on an attack of their own. Germany going to be heading to the defense, and we're talking about it a little bit in the preamble where you mentioned, hey, Nesh is a pretty good Widowmaker. He's going to be coming out on the Widow here. What is the advantage of running the Widow here versus a Sombra like how France was running on the defense?
The major difference is that on defense, you can dictate the pace of the battle. You can send your tanks in first, have them control those choke points, and keep your snipers in those long sight lines, those high ground positions where they get the most value. On offense, it's a lot more difficult to assume those positions to get your Widow firing. Defense, you can enable them a lot more. I like this Ana Mercy comp coming out from Team Germany. This is going to provide a ton of heals to the tanks from Codex Ana, and at the same time, Immortal on the Mercy is going to be really good at pocketing this Widow and this Hanzo as they dash around the map and try and stay in sightlines.
So flipping it the other way, what is the win condition for France here as they look towards this Germany defense?
Well, the first thing to watch is going to be Soon on the Sombra. This perma-stealth is going to allow him to scout the double sniper setup. Sombra is really what has made double sniper so much less popular in this meta. So if Soon can give that intel to Nico, to Benbest, and Poco, Wins is going to speed in and immediately target them down. We'll see how Skoon elects to scout. You can see he's just waiting here. He needs that invis to get it unscouted. Getting it broken is a real delay for Team France.
They're not waiting for Soon's intel. It's already a lot of poke coming in from France. Poco, as a result, getting chunked down the half, but France is able to get away. Oh, Unco focused down again. It's this relentless pressure onto Unco coming in here. But France, they decide they're going to go in. Soon says, hey, we got a dive target. They get cranks down immediately. But Nico ends up falling. Wasn't able to challenge Nesh the way he wanted to. Nesh now room to work with, and this French attack is not quite so great.
France is likely being repelled here. Poco staying in the fight. Might get D-Max. Ooh, just barely escaped. That's so important. Unco now going to build a lot of nano boost charge. That's another key win condition for Team France. Of course, with no Transcendence, no Zenyatta on the side of Team Germany, no Brigitte either, Nico is going to be relatively uncontested if he can get that Nano Blade combo. But Nesh, so threatening in these snipe lines. Took down Nico last fight. We'll see if he can do it again.
And of course, the key here would be getting him before he administers the nano boost, as Nesh hiding in the back, has the info sight up, but under pressure, 40 HP. Someone needs to help, but Benbest, though, already down. Pressure on the Nesh. Uses the info sight, somehow still alive, but Wins takes him down. DPS Lucio in the back. Germany, though, still doing okay. Mete gonna get D-Mech, but you see Progi, nano boost Winston, clearing out space. Diva Bomb right in his face. Bubble going to be isolating it out there, but he's hacked. Holding on, has the Primal Rage, and Germany can still delay quite a while here, and France have lost quite a few people.
Mete trying to remag, gonna barely get back in before Benbest can take him down, but Progi's hacked. He can't pop his Primal Rage. His team needs to keep him alive. The EMP refreshes the hack. France manages to take out the Winston, but it's a one-for-one trade.
The key there, though, is that Progi wasn't able to Primal Rage. He would have been able to stay alive there for a long time. He was making a lot of space for Germany. Now Germany needs a good raw pickoff coming here from Nesh, and Nesh is landing some big shots. Just jumps way up and no charge, but you see Benbest making room into the back line. That room taken advantage of by Nico, gets two as a result, and Benbest just enabling his Genji, but Germany don't have it yet. France, they've almost taken the point. It's super close, 97%, but Germany's still diving on in.
Nico staying alive though, getting these dash resets. It looks like just overwhelming pressure from Ben Best. 4 kills in a row on the Winston, just cleaning up here with the Tesla cannon. France takes point A, 5:30 on the clock. How fastly will they be able to move into the second point?
Do they have momentum going in here, given what Germany has, though?
It's going to be rough. I mean, Nesh on the Brigida, that's one of the best anti-snowball characters in the game. Kodak does have the nano boost as well, but the beat drop giving France a ton of presence on the point.
France with the beat drop, getting directly onto the point, not giving Germany time to breathe. Germany in a bit of trouble, but they have the nano boost in reserve. They have so many tools. Progi, Primal Rage there. France ends up giving a little bit of room to Germany. They might come to regret it. You see focus fire on the Progi, self-destruct the back, doesn't get anything. And there, the nano boost onto Nesh. You use it on the Brigida, saves Nesh from falling, and there's a big boom on the other end. Mente gonna give Germany the breathing room they need.
Great self-destruct by Mente. He knows that those squishy supports from Team France, they're gonna try and escape down that long hallway to the Mega, but the self-destruct is positioned perfectly to punish them for exactly that route. Although Germany gets a little bit scared there. They pop a lot of ultimates in the last seconds of that fight. They don't have much to work with, and it's Nico with the Dragon Blade. Soon, 70% to his EMP. This could be a potential low econ fight for France that they might actually win.
It's all up to Nico here. This is the stuff that Genji's dream about. Opportunities to carry for your team. But the problem is for Nico, he might not realize just how drained Germany is. How's he gonna approach? Goes in, Dragon Blade, looking for it, gets the Brigida, gets Kodak, and with 2 early pickoffs, Nico takes well advantage of the situation. France gets onto the point cleanly.
France getting that first tick with a lot of control here, but nice patience from Team Germany. They're not running into the fight just yet. They're going to get as much time as possible to reset, and Nesh has the rally. The Dragon gets them back onto the point. A little bit of smoke screen effect here. Ana in this long side, they're putting out a lot of heals. The MP does get a few, but these tanks are so low on the side of Team France. Nico finds one, coming up on his second Dragon Blade potentially here in the fight.
Poco gonna get team back. Nico in trouble. France, though, still fighting. Nico dash resets, getting right in the point. Germany, they can't touch it again, and we're going to be going into extra rounds.
Such clean play there from Team France. That fight maybe just a little bit closer than Team France would have liked there. I like that discipline from Team Germany. As soon as they go down 2 to that Dragon Blade, they know that they can't win the fight outright on point. Instead of running back into their deaths, trying to stagger right as the point has no capture progress, they wait, they regroup, and they give themselves the best chance possible. It's not quite enough there, but certainly good discipline from them, showing that they are playing on a high level.
Well, it's an age-old adage, right, where it's better to lose the battle and win the war, and in that case, the tickets on the point, those are the battles, but the war is actually losing the point entirely. So you're absolutely right, where, all right, we're not in a good position to fight back. We're going to wait as long as possible until we can, and it makes all sorts of sense, and as a result, you take a look here, very even times between the 2 teams.
Certainly here, it's anybody's game as we go into the overtime round. France has secured themselves a bit of a tempo lead, and that is going to be a big difference here. That 30 seconds sometimes means an extra fight that can win you the round or make that last second difference. So Germany probably going to look to bring out that same composition, and it might be another mirror match here on first point. Nico got us a little bit of a slower Dragon Blade last time. It was Kranks who brought it out first and opened things up for Team Germany. Nico needs to get that blade up as quickly as possible. He needs to be able to answer Kranks and take out the backline as well.
Germany, of course, a little bit of swapping in the beginning, but it's going to be Lucio that they roll on out with. And this might be swift indeed, where Germany doesn't really want to give France a lot of time to set up.
Certainly, Germany wants to move fast, get as many opportunities to take first point as possible, and honestly, they need to be capping second point. Volskaya first, one of the difficult points on 2CP to full hold.
You see Nesh right now looping around Germany. They're not really hard committing until Nesh gets a good opportunity, but Progi's super low. France, again, very good about focusing tanks early on. Progi, though, will be able to back out. This will give Nesh a little bit of time, but he's not being super aggro right now.
Both teams trading very evenly on ultimate charge. Unko with a big lead on the nano boost. That's the main difference. As this control for the HUD contest pops off, Nesh forced out by Soon, getting a little bit best of that duel. And now this is a main advantage for France on the point, but Progi's not scared. He's moving in aggressively, but hacked, punished, he has to retreat.
Both teams right now, not super hard engagement. Now France is going to take the initiative. Nano boost on Ben Best. That means France goes in, but they lost Nico. The idea was a combination between Winston and Genji there. Wasn't quite the engage they're looking for. Soon is going to have to bail them out the EMP. Unco's down, and that's big for Germany soon. What sort of EMP do you have? coming in from the back, waiting, but while he waits, his team is falling. Now he might just have to hold it.
I like this discipline from Soon. You don't want to come into a fight like this. That's very, very risky stuff. You need the EMP to keep fight going on second, and nice play by Soon, getting an extra few seconds off the clock. France wants to just stabilize on second point. Germany doing a great job getting point A, using only the nano boost. Unko switches over to the Moira. He understands how aggressive Germany's dive is about to get. Germany wants to snowball this and still have extra time on the bank.
Germany wants to make this happen. 2 minutes left. They'd love to have a little bit more. Heading to potentially extra round. Soon immediately drops the EMP, but Germany unable to stay alive. Immortal got tagged, couldn't drop the beat. Both supports down. France reestablishes off the play of Nico. He didn't even have to use a blade.
Nico slicing through with those dash resets, capitalizing perfectly on the EMP from Soon, and it's only the Primal Rage that's invested additionally there. France does have a few ultimates to work with, but it's Germany with 5 crucial ultimates. Kodak, similarly to the Unko, wants to switch to that Moira, make himself a harder target. It's Nesh's EMP that's now going to take control of the fight.
Nesh is going to be setting this up, and again, Germany, they want to take advantage of whatever window they think they have here. If Nesh could actually get the EMP onto a sound barrier, that would be the dream, but his offense, it's not likely to happen.
I love this by Poco. It's so hard to deal with D.Va spamming the choke point. He wants to get in, set up that EMP, but he hasn't been able to get much scouting in. He's having trouble finding a group of French players. Unko gets the first pick. This is great management of the Sombra threat by Team France.
Cranks is down early. Germany already down 1. Progging had hacked. He's invested in Primal Rage, but it's so discombobulated. Like Nico, under pressure. Is he going to fall? Getting healed up by wins. He's going to get back into the fight. Germany going for the soft reset.
That's great play by Poco. You can see him spamming the choke point on D.Va, never letting Nesh through, and that doesn't allow Nesh to get that scout off. That's what makes Sombra so effective. Nesh needs to find a way in the flank, and this time it looks like he's got it. Getting the scout here. He knows where the tanks are. He knows where Unko is, but Unko with that fade is going to be really difficult to EMP.
Also, Nesh needs to get the EMP off before Soon has his. There's a very limited window for Germany right now. We'll see if they're going to take it. Progi starting to move in. Nesh waiting to drop the EMP. When's he going to use it? Gets a raw hack on the Unko. Self-destruct over the top. What's it going to be? Gets Unko. Unko out of the fight. The engine of France's healing is down. Coalescence being invested by Germany. They sense the pressure right now. They sense the opportunity. Sound barrier's up. But now Nico, he's waiting. Gets EMP. Can't do anything with this blade. Can't even pull it out. And now we see Germany moving back on in. France in trouble. Germany could get another cap.
Germany has so much pressure on the point, and it's all off the back of that perfectly timed EMP from Nesh. Wiz drops the beat on everybody, but it's instantly peeled off by Nesh. Great timing, great interaction of the ultimates. Germany now has so much control on point. The overtime spawns, punishing Team France. That's 1 tick. Now Germany, with a 2nd tick, wants to close out second point, get that 4-point score. Hammond's coming back. It's Nico finding the blade, but he's instantly taken down.
Taken down, cranks a blade of his own. Uppercutted by Soon, but France is in real trouble here. Germany, firm 5 players on the point. France is trying to delay. 94.8% right now to Germany. And Progi gonna go back in. Primal Rage looking to bump some people in the self-destruct. Self-destruct making room. Unko out of the fight. And Germany caps again. Let's go to more rounds.
Very impressive stuff from Germany to secure that. And Nesh, so patient with that EMP. Didn't find the opening in the last fight. Doesn't overcommit. Holds that EMP. I love that. Right when Unko drops the Coalescence, Nesh doesn't react over aggressively. He doesn't need to drop the EMP. He just turns off that Moira ultimate with his classic right-click hack. That's enough to set up for the D.Va self-destruct kill. From there, Wins gets scared. He has no more support ult, no more healing left on his side. He has to drop the beat, but Nesh is ready with the EMP. This is clinical play from Team Germany. This is why they picked Volskaya.
And also, you want to just talk about clinical play there and feeling your opponents out, where you saw Germany invest the ultimates as soon as they got that early pick-off, where it's like, okay, self-destruct work, everything else now on the table, this is our time. You know, again, just channeling that inner feeling of let's go dudes right in the moment.
The key to this assault map type is discipline. You need to not overcommit until you find your moment. That crucial hack onto Unko makes him vulnerable to the self-destruct, and that's where Germany knows this is time to all in. That's the other thing, you need to be disciplined. You don't want to overinvest, but when it is time, you can't be scared to pull the trigger. Germany, with the confidence to make the plays here, we'll see if the snipers can continue to produce.
Certainly, it's going to be a lot on Nesh and Cranks here on the defense. France are working with a lot of time, but given that Germany was able to get in and get that final cap on their attack, it's a lot of pressure on France now.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for them to repeat that performance. Capping second point is a lot more difficult than capping first. It all starts with a quick point A take. We'll see if France can successfully do that against this double sniper setup.
France setting on up, and of course they're going to be looking to be pretty divey. Benbest already going on in, but gets chunked. Unko there at the Bionade, able to heal him come up way more aggressively. That's just how the ability works. So Benbest, even though he gets low, the support was there. Lets him go right back in. But this time, there's not going to be a bio-nade. Benbest is going to fall immediately. The focus fire is big. But you look back by Germany, absolutely getting crushed. Cranks and Nesh out of the fight. Poco getting on in.
France, I love this aggression, understanding that the more time they give to Germany's snipers, the more risk they face, trading frags both ways, but it's Team France with the control of the point. That hacked health pack, so crucial in these team fights.
And that means for France, not only are they going to get point A quickly, they're going to have a nano boost for that first push on point B and a bucket load of time to go with it.
Soon, already into last point, I think he's trying to hack that crucial mega that's right next to point B. If he can get this hack off before the Winston can come stop him, this is a major difference maker coming into second point.
Soon is going for it, but Nesh is right there with him. I think Nesh has already gotten the hack on to the health pack, so Germany definitely well aware of that game. Unco, though, looking for pick up another. Bio-nade doesn't hit, and oh boy, gotta run, can't run fast enough. Mente grabs it with the self-destruct. Unco goes, oh, this is happening.
Reaction just a bit too slow, and it's going to trigger the full reset from Team France, but France certainly setting themselves up with the possibility to take point B, and potentially even with extra time. At this point, Germany is struggling. They ran that double sniper setup, but they didn't get anything out of it, and now they've switched both DPS and one of their supports. That cost them a lot of ultimate tempo. France coming up on a full stack of 6 ultimates. This is how you take assault maps.
This is their war chest being built up here. We'll see if they're able to use it, because if they don't get it and they let Germany just really stall out, they're not going to get a better chance.
This is really France's best opportunity to take Volskaya point B. Soon, wants to give it the EMP, gets both tanks. You're not going to see that Primal Rage. Winston is EMP'd. Unco staying alive, protecting his Lucio. Great binding for him to keep his tanks up as well. Soon, though, does fall to Progi.
Soon ends up giving his life for Progi, making space, but here comes Nico as a blade. France still trying to get in the fight. They've lost enough people here, though, that it's looking pretty good for Germany. Germany has been able to do enough damage that France unable to keep the pressure up. A minute 50 left, and this is actually looking quite good for Germany now.
The hacks and the poke by Nesh getting so much value, disrupting Team France. You see Unco commits his life to get the nano boost onto Nico, but Nico only finds one, and it's not enough. Now Germany over the hump. They have a few more ultimates to work with. This fight is a lot more even, and for the defenders, that's going to mean a big advantage.
They just need to manage their ultimate economy here. If you can use Nano Blade for one, EMP for the other, it'd be great. If you invest all of it here, you're going to give France an opportunity. We'll see if they do. Nesh is in the back, early dive with the EMP, and they invest the Nano Blade. It's going to be a clean sweep, but now, Jake, this gives France a real opportunity.
This is a real risk for Team Germany, potentially a little bit over-eager there. If you see that team fight, it didn't feel like the Nano Boost was necessary at all. The damage was not making a major difference here. Germany might be regretting this. Now they only have a self-destruct and a sound barrier, and it's France coming up on a few crucial ultimates. 2 tank ults. They've got the beat drop, and soon is going to have that EMP before the game closes.
Do you wait for the EMP before you go in as France?
Well, soon, already up to 85. It's just a couple seconds away, so why not at this point? Soon, probably just going to get in and farm that up in the middle of the team fight. Benbest poking down Progi. Progi overcommitting here potentially a little bit. Gets instantly focused by everyone from Team France.
He got away. He used the side to get away. Gets healed back up. But Cranks under pressure. Germany struggling to reposition. Cranks is going to be able to get away. It's unclear. Does get the barrier just in time. Self-destruct from Mete. Made just enough room. Germany still at full. France trying the best, and Nico's down. Mete found him. Benbest now making a little bit of room in the back. Looking for the Ana. Nano boost on, but he turns around. He's gotten very little from it so far. Benbest nowhere to go as Germany continues to hold the point. Now he goes back onto Ana, but he slept. He's knocked away. And oh man, Germany with full control and the cleanup at the end. He's down.
Benbest getting bursted, cleaned up by Cranks. Tons of control on the point. EMP onto Poco. All the focus is pouring onto this Diva. He cannot pop the self-destruct. Cranks with the Dragon Blade, adding insult to injury. France has to run back into the sword, and it's not enough. Germany takes Volskaya. What a great comeback into the series.
Germany staying alive and proving that France can bleed. This actually now a series that if Germany can get map 4, they could force a map 5. They could completely reform the destiny of this group stage here, where France thought to be unbeatable, now down a map.
Certainly, and Germany, who would have thought that they would be the team to start taking maps off of France? But of course, this was their map pick. This was Volskaya. This is where they wanted to be. Now they have a real test ahead of them. France is going to select their own escort map, going to take it to their most comfortable position, and that is where Germany really has to perform at top level.
Of course, and because so far here it has been the map picks coming out from Germany, it has been their home territory, whereas now the French team, of course, these are veterans in the Overwatch scene, which means that over time you have some maps that you really like playing, and they will get that choice going into map 4.
every team has their favorite map from each map type. So here we get to see where France will take it. What map do they feel is going to suit their strengths, especially running this roster with Nico soon? They want a map that's aggressive, dive friendly, and is going to allow Nico to shine on that Genji.
And of course, Nico looking to be in top form right now, where, again, it's a player where he has ups and downs, but he's been grinding, and certainly some big moments in the Genji here so far.
Certainly, it is his best hero, so at this point, France just needs to keep him on that comfort pick. We saw a lot of big team fights out of Nico. It wasn't enough to seal the deal on Volskaya, but I think what really did that for Team Germany was Nesh, always in the backline. Great hack usage, not overcommitting the EMP until the perfect moment. That's exactly what you want to see out of your Sombra player.
So we're going to be heading to our fourth map. It is a choice of Team France. What is it going to be? Where will they try to bring this series back? It's going to be Route 66. And if you're wondering, what is Route 66? How is it even played? Let's take a look.
This is Escort. Two teams face off as either defenders or attackers. This is the payload. The attacking team has a limited amount of time to escort the payload along a set path containing 3 checkpoints. The payload only moves forward when an attacker stands near it. Defenders can delay the payload's movement by standing nearby at the same time. To get moving again, attackers must clear away the defenders by force. Every time the payload reaches a checkpoint, the attackers score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock. If even one attacker is near the payload when the clock runs out, the game enters overtime. This extends play indefinitely until the attackers are either cleared off the payload or they gain more time by reaching a checkpoint. The round ends when the payload reaches the destination or when time runs out. Teams switch sides each round. Whichever team scores the most points and escorts the payload farthest wins.
So we're on Route 66. Of course, this is the choice of France coming on in here, and as you take a look at what composition they're going to be running, it's an old favorite here, one we've seen time and time again, but not really a big surprise.
Well, it could be a big surprise for Team Germany. France, I don't think they've brought this out since that first map type with AKM on the field. France, we talked about this. They want Poco on that Zarya in this 3-3 setup, and now they've got it. Nico is experienced on this Diva. It might not be his favorite character, but he's certainly a strong player on it. Germany might not be ready for this. France setting up for a really aggressive speed boost initiation. If they can win this first team fight, they could parlay that into a major spawn camp. Could really burn time off the clock here on Route 66.
Now, interesting enough, they are running with Unco on the Moira. They're not doing the more in vogue Ana setup. What advantages does this give France, if any?
Well, given that their strategy is going to take things really aggressive right now, they want to speed into the spawn, jump on Germany before they're ready. That is exactly what Moira does. You don't want that Ana. She's a liability against the dive. Moira is going to be much harder to punish, and that's exactly why France is running this setup. Germany, they see the comp, they already make the swap, but it's all on Kodak now on this Ana. He needs to land big offensive bio-nades, shut down those heals from Unco, deny those tanks their crucial healing support.
See how those bio-nades work out. France, for now, just staying on the payload. The power of running the Moira in the situation where you can take the fight very early on Route 66. You don't have to wait about going on. Oh, the bio-nade from Kodak catches him off guard. Germany immediately diving in after the bio-nade, but France able to stay pretty well healed up here. They put the pressure back towards the other end, and right now, this is going to be a long, drawn-out brawl.
That's a big opportunity for Team France. The bio-nade is down. The next bio-nade is forced to be defensive here, so France has another window, potentially looking to get aggressive. It's all in these bio-nades from Kodak. You can see he's keeping everybody alive. Nesh doing a great job in the turret. Has a big lead, but the Shatter Bash combo drops 3 to the ground.
Early Earth Shatter from Ben Best going in, and this is what you have to expect in this combination. But Nesh holding on to the grab, looking for it, doesn't want to force it, doesn't want to eat it, gets the D-Max, still holding on to the grab, and Germany now coming back the other way. They're going to take the fight, but France will have the time to reset up once more.
It looked perfect for Ben Best, comboing with Soon's Bash to drop everybody to the ground, but Kodak's Nano Boost keeps Progi alive, and he comes out swinging. That is the power of the Ana in this composition. That Nano Boost is such an unexpected boost of HP, and with all the damage problems present in the 3-3 comp, it's really difficult to turn the fight around when a good Nano comes out.
We're coming up to a fight of gravitons here.
Definitely a lot of combos available for both teams. Very similar ultimate stacks, but Nex has a much better setup. Finds 4. All the tanks caught. For Team France, everybody hit with a bomb.
Gets to Mete, just pushing on through Germany, winning the battle of grabs here. Of course, Poco couldn't even get his grab out. A full team wipe, and Germany is rolling.
Germany looks so comfortable under pressure here. France trying to get aggressive, trying to set the tempo, but you can see the benefits of that strategy. France, even though they haven't really won a team fight, they've got 2 minutes off the clock, and they're running back in. They might actually get a final contest here.
They're moving back in. Poco holding on to the grab. What's he going to do with that self-destruct? Making a bit of room. Now it's not going to be able to be combo with the grab, but France drops their feet. They drop the grab. They get 3, but a nice earth shatter from Progi buys Germany some time. Now they can go back in, targeting Benbest, trying to get in on soon, moving forward. Mete's demech. France actually now going back the other way, and Earthshatter coming in from Benbest, knocks down 2. France going back the other way, and they're gonna hold here on point A.
Uncle has found 3 frags, making this Zenyatta look so good in this composition. It's so difficult to play, but what it does is it forces Germany to be the aggressor. Kodak would like to be defensive with those Bionades. He'd like to keep his tanks healed up, but Uncle with those discords, he's saying, you have to deal with me. If you can't answer my Zen, I will destroy your entire team, and that's exactly what he does here. France starting to put up a lot more of their ultimates. Germany really only has this nano and grab to work with, but that could be enough.
It's been very good for Nesh here so far. It will be answered by the Transcendence. See how Nesh sets us up. Germany moving forward. Early grab here from Nesh. Pulls in a lot, but Unco dives on in with the Transcendence. But you're right, Lemay sets him on up. The healing doesn't matter there. Kodak shuts it on down. Mete moving on in, and Germany does not care about the prayer circle. Cranks diving in for the cleanup, and they have caught France with their pants down.
Kodak showing great awareness on that Ana. Comes in from the flank, nades the grab, and the Transcendence is just useless there. The Nano just cleaves through the grab. Germany with such control here and a few ultimates to work with. This is anybody's game as we move on to the second point. But France, you have to give them the credit. They're playing this so intelligently. Even though they only won 1 team fight on first point, they managed to get 3 minutes off the clock.
And it's still good. It's sort of one of those things where there's losing and there's losing well. France, for now, is losing well with how they're playing the clock. Now they're going to move back in. Rally being burned by Germany. They want to withstand. Graviton by France, trying to set him up. Progi gonna fall. Couldn't stay alive in the end, and we're going to see France get a lot more tanky here. They use the rally at the end of the fight.
I love the position that France takes that team fight. The doors throws behind the cart just after he comes through, and now Team Germany is going to be forced to come back through one choke point or another. They choose the high ground choke point. That's the best they can do. But even this is going to be a struggle against Benbest. He's got that shatter, and it's so dangerous. Germany understands this. They have to go all the way around to the gas station just to get into the team fight, but they're so far away from the cart. Now France, swapping sides, adopts a defensive position.
Attack is defense, defense is attack, but Benbest, he's ready. Earth Shatter, up and loaded. Look at, drops it, gets 2. Exactly what France is looking for, but Benbest getting super low. Can't be healed up in time. Cranks pushes him on down. Germany with the barrier, able to stay alive here. Now rotating back the other way, punishing France, and this flank for Germany, it certainly worked out.
The shatter is not going to secure the team fight win, but it does force the beat drop out of Immortal. Now France, for this next team fight, they're going to have double support ulti available to them. Nash has held the grab, but Poco already up to another grab of his own. France is playing this ultimate economy so intelligently. They commit the shatter. That amount of pressure scares the beat drop out. It forces Germany to commit, and now France has secured themselves another ultimate advantage. This is really intelligent play from these Overwatch League players.
And one thing to note here too, even though Nash has the grab, they're not going to have the Bionade here to deal with the Transcendence this time, so it's a much better situation for Unco. Progi going in aggressively. Earth Shatter ready, but everyone's above him. It's not ideal. Nash, as he gets to have the grab, Progi drops a hammer, gets at least 1, and here's the Transcendence coming out for Kodak, trying to keep him up and alive. Self-destruct, a little bit of room, wins is down. 2-man advantage here for Germany. Going back the other way. Unco uses Transcend to keep the rest of the team alive, but it's France in a moment of disadvantage. Progi just swinging the hammer, takes down Soon, and Germany is going to take this fight. But again, a lot of time being burned, Jake.
Soon falling with that rally. The combo so on point for Team Germany, getting a lot more value out of these grab self-destructs. Cranks has always been there with the bash, where Soon has missed a couple of those combos, not in position to drop the Rhine shield. So Germany looking really clean, wants to cap second point here. I don't think France can contest.
France unable to contest here. It probably would have been a bad idea anyways. Now we go to point C. It's difficult to get through here, Jake.
This last point has stopped a lot of really strong offenses. We'll see if it can be the same for Team France here. And I love this. They're getting right back to the cart, not wasting any time. They don't want to give up any free progress in this tank comp.
Again, they're just trying to burn off time and just stopping the payload by pure bodies, making Germany work for every little bit. Self-destruct. They go to the back here. Gets Nash. Nash wasn't wasn't able to get away, and France now working that man advantage. They're just going back on end. Progi gets healed back up, but it's not in time. Couldn't find an Earth Shatter, and France goes in even deeper.
A Zarya pick is the best thing you can get in this compositional matchup. That's such a huge amount of damage that's lost. You really rely on that 100 energy Zarya to carry your team in these fights. When Nesh drops like that, Poco is going to capitalize. He's going to get aggressive. But it's Germany now with 5 ultimates to work with. France has a big disadvantage here. All you expect is just to play the card, but they commit. They drop the grab, but the Transcendence, instant response by Kodak.
And Kodak was right there, keeps Germany alive. Grabs onto Zubac, but the hammer on the other side. Here comes Germany. It sets up 2 early kills. Progi saw the opportunity, took advantage, and France is thrown back once more. Germany now in a position where, even though they're low on time here, Jake, they could bring this to the end.
It's yet another back
look at
shatter
that
combo.
The sneakiness.
Such
like
nice delay from Team France, getting every second they can. Germany, though, is so on point with these combos. That's a great setup by Cranks. Dropping that shield bash just as Progi shatters. You can't do that with reaction. You have to do that with total trust in your team. Germany showing that here, and now another Graviton advantage to show for it.
Germany moving forward, France on the brink. Benbest holding on to the Earth Shatter, can soon set it up. Got to be aware of the Brigida at all times here. Benbest swinging. Where's the Shatter going to come in? Both teams just trading up poke here. Nesh real close to the Graviton, and Benbest moves in, gets the Shatter, knocks down 3. France, though, they weren't able to get any pickoffs there. The barrier kept Germany alive. Now Nesh drops a grab, gets everything he's looking for. Self-destruct to the back. How many he's going to get? Gets Benbest. Might be enough. Transcendence comes out, but the front line from France, it's gone. Germany moving forward. They lose Progi, but everyone else still very much alive. France in a bit of trouble here, having to give up a lot of room to the German team.
France, they need to regroup with Benbest. They need that huge Reinhardt shield to protect the card. It's a 100 energy Zarya battle here on the high ground, and Nesh is winning it. He's got total control on the flank.
He almost got the Zen there, had an opportunity. Now high energy. He's looking for another grab. He had one a moment ago, but there's so many beefy targets that he can lay this laser into here. Looking for Benbest, doesn't care about the other Zarya. Progi moving back in, Earth Shatter, locked and loaded. Where's it gonna be? There's the Brigida stun. There's the Earth Shatter, only gets 1. Now the Graviton used by France sets up. Progi cranks down. Germany on the brink. Look towards Nesh. He has the Graviton on his own. Drops the grab, picks up 3. Is the fall through gonna be there? Nesh moves in. Mete's there. Nesh picks up 1. Going for the self-destruct as Mete. It's better late than never. And Germany still fighting.
France keeps Poco alive, though. He's still kicking in this fight. Soon runs back on the Doomfist, needs to get back into this fight, wants to kick them off the card. 5-4s here. Poco on 100 energy. He's such a dangerous target in this situation. But Benbest with the Shatter drops Nesh onto the ground. They need to finish off this Zarya, but they can't do it. Poco grinding through this tanks from Team Germany, but it's Germany with the control. Brigida back in the card. Poco's doing everything he can, but it's not enough.
Great support to keep Nesh in the battle. 100 energy, so much damage. Picks up 3 at the very end. They needed to finish off Nesh. They couldn't, and Germany finishes Route 66.
Such an impressive offense there. I love the stylistic play from Team France, though. They're constantly on the card. They're constantly bleeding time up the objective, but Germany says slow and steady wins the race. We capped 3rd point on Route 66. That's an above average finish. Just getting the 3rd point is great for this map. We know how hard it is to attack. France, they need to do better on this offense.
And the problem there is, if you think about the strategy France was running, is that the goal was to bleed a lot of time off the clock. But the one caveat there is you need to have a decisive battle to end the other team when you get into overtime, because the issue there is that we were in overtime for what was about close to a minute, I would say. You know, I'm no mathematician, but it was about that time. So essentially, there was a lot of extra time that Germany got to play with there, and that's because France didn't have the tools necessary to get that decisive final fight.
For me, it's always about combos and coordination. In these compositional matchups, it's really been Cranks and Progi who've been just dominating their counterparts on the French side. Cranks with these bashes, constantly setting up shatters for Progi. There were a couple for Soon and Benbest, but they were always answered by an instant support ult. So Germany understands what combos they face. When they are successful for Team France, they're answered by a support ult. France, though, has really been overstepping their bounds, getting really punished by these massive shatters from Progi. That's allowing Nesh and Mete to hold their ultimates, and that's a much more devastating combo to face.
And it's a hallmark of these tank-heavy compositions that Reinhardt sets the battle, right? Where just by the very nature, they're going to be getting way more Earth Shatters than a more normal 2-2-2 setup. So it really does come down to your Reinhardt play, and so far Progi has been very good.
This is really nice positioning from Team Germany. They're going to get all the way inside the train. This is a classic setup for an aggressive fight on Route 66. They're going to hide and look to speed boost into the back line of Team France.
Poco's going to scout it. This is the old school train wreck strategy, but guess what?
Knows.
You send the Sonic Arrow there, and he's seen everything.
Knows where they are. Germany knows the jig is up. They hear the Sonic. They're just going to come out and fight the cart, just as Team France did. But Unko on this Zenyatta, he's going to give his team a shield break advantage. Kodak needs to find big plays without bio-nades, potentially a nano boost to swing things around, or else the Discord will be too much.
The pressure coming on the shields is profound. Progi already cracked right now early on. Under pressure, goes on in. Both teams, again, scouting for weakness here. The Reinhardt's building up charge relatively quickly. Poco going in, 65 energy, just laying damage on the Zarya. Then it's going to be France. They get the first two pickoffs. Germany falls. And that is exactly what they were looking for.
France chooses the better composition, punishing Germany with Unko Zenyatta. He's looking so clean, and in these high ground positions, he's just uncontested. It's really only Meta and potentially Immortal who can go aggressive on him, but you're really not going to be successful with those two characters. Brigitte so strong at protecting his Zenyatta, it's really tough to dislodge Unko. And you can see when that Discord goes on to Progi, Benbest is just swinging for the fences. It's so hard to fight when your Rhine is discorded.
Poco now. 87% because he had a better fight. He's going to get the grab up earlier. France is going to be banking on this here. You take a look at Poco, 96% about to get the grab. Germany, they're on a timer. The grab comes out and just makes room here for France. Only ends up being one pickoff, but in these tanky setups, that's all you need. It snowballs into more, and France is keeping it moving.
It's only one pick, but it is the Zarya. This is the new metagame for the 3-3 composition. Solo grab the enemy Zarya and just roll the fight from there. Everybody you kill after that grab is completed is just building up your ultimate bank for the next fight. Nesh is coming up on his own Graviton, but Poco's already at 40%. The third Graviton will be Poco's.
France just moving on forward. Is Germany even going to get some payload? The time's going to be close. 2 meters, 1 meter. No, the worst of all worlds here for Germany. They move on in, but it's too late. The point is already France's, so France, they can just let this go to the wayside. It doesn't really matter. There's spawn points there, but they still want to fight it. Progi, pretty low. Harmony orb on him. Benbest going, swinging, going, please fall, and no, not going to happen. Lucio Zen keeping him up, but France is still getting some progress here.
Nice bubble onto Benbest by Poco. Keeps him alive through that last-second pin coming out from Progi. I thought that might have secured him a last-second pick in the team fight, but France, they're going to get a ton of progress right now. It was a great boost by Soon, sends in that rocket flare onto Nesh, and he can't contest the card. Germany commits so many ults there. Now France's turn to set the pace.
Soon holding on to the rally, and this is going to be a big edge for France as they start this fight.
Yeah, Soon in position here, stays on that high ground. He's ready. He wants to threaten that Rhine. Potentially a Shadow combo coming out here, but he needs to bait out that ally bubble.
Earth Shatter coming on in here. Benbest not phased, holding on to one of his own. Now, Rally coming out, self-destruct, making a bit of room. 5v5 here. Nico down, Benbest drops a hammer, knocks down 2. Transcendence not enough. Craig's going for a ride. Smash against the side, and France gets the better of the fight.
Benbest pins that Brigitte, takes her down. Germany, the best thing you can say about that fight is that they took the fight early enough to potentially secure themselves a final recontest. Although it's going to be very close here. They might have to run out with some initial spawners just to keep that point delayed. Poco with a nice jump onto the high ground. A Graviton here could deny the contest, could secure France's second point, and they have so much time in the bank.
That's what he's looking for, holding on to the grab. Is he going to use it here? Does want Eden, and it's a nice grab. Gets him right against the side, and they're just going to roll in. Beef damage from Soon, rocket flail all the way, set up by Poco. France easily going to grab this. Craig's a little bit damaged towards the end, but it's just France with too much of an advantage.
And now it's Reinhardt and his squire, Benbest and Sood, cleaving through Gravitons. That is exactly what you want to see for Poco. Poco doing a great job getting these Gravitons out early. He's not sitting on them for long periods. That's enabling him to constantly build grabs, constantly cycle the team fights. And now France has 4 ultimates to work with. They only had to use Diva Bomb and Self-Destruct to close that out.
France is setting an incredibly fast time. 4 minutes left. And also, still working at the edge. Benbest moving forward, holding on to the Shatter. Rally gonna be used by Soon. France even tank here, and it's a big Earth Shatter, knocks down 2. France moving in, they immediately punish Progi off of it, and that's enough. Pin coming to the other side, doesn't get the Zarya, but it's too much damage. Germany must relent.
Nash is gonna fall here, loses all of his energy. France in such dominant position here, looking to roll through last point, but this is where it gets really difficult. Germany now has the best possible spawn advantage that they'll get for the entire map. This is their time to turn it around, if it's at all possible. France with 3.5 minutes on the clock, though. They have so many attempts here, and Poco doesn't even want to take another one. He's almost up to his next graviton.
Nesh, though, might be able to throw it out first, but no, both Zarya's ready to grab. Nesh, first grab coming in, transcendent from Unco, and Wins can drop the beat here if they feel even under pressure. France, totally fine, self-destruct to the back line, gets Progi, here comes France, 6 on 5, Wins drops the beat, it's a pure advantage coming in here from France. They have a Ryan, the other team doesn't, and you see Mete with the bubble, trying to buy room, self-destruct up, don't want to get tagged, it does, shield bash, opens it up, can't shield that.
What an insane clutch, but it's Soon here setting up on the flank for a back cap. He's gonna get spotted and taken down. It was a nice idea, but it's not gonna work. Germany too aware, and it's Cranks finally back into that shield bash combo game, setting up for Mete, absolutely rolling through Team France. France uses a lot to that fight, and they don't have much to show for it. Nico in Pilot Diva form, he needs to remake, needs to get this fight going, but he finds the spam and is back in the suit.
France coming back in, but it's been Cranks that's been setting up Earth Shatters, self-destructs. He's been the nemesis of Ben Best all series long. And now we see Ben Best and Earth Shatter up. Would love to return the favor. Rally up from Soon. France starting the aggress once more, but the Earth Shatter comes in. Once more, Germany set up by Cranks moving in. Ben Best to counter Earth Shatter. Cranks might be down, but that's all they get. France investing the grab. Everyone all close together here. Grabs on both sides. And France and Germany still doing well. Kodak with the Transcendence keeps Germany in the fight, and it gives them the power they need to push back the other way.
Poco up on the high ground, getting a lot of damage, but gets caught out alone. He's not there to protect his Rhine, and Germany wins that fight again off a huge shield bash combo from Cranks. France might be stalling out here. They only have a minute and a half. Germany halfway over the hump.
Take a look, France had 4 minutes, now they only have a minute 30. What do they need to do here, Jake?
Well, it's all about these ults and these combos. Soon, you need to be getting this bash to set up Ben Best, but they tried and they have failed last fight. Now it's Nico with the self-destruct, but Nash doing such a great job holding his bubbles. He's ready to protect his teammates. You can see Progi bubble just in case the bash comes in.
You see the self-destruct going back the other way for Germany, doesn't connect. Both teams still alive, but Soon's down early. A little bit overextended. There's no Brigitte, and Brigitte's been so important for combos. Cranks under pressure, gets healed up. France, they're backing out. They know they need the Brigitte here, Jake.
They know how important this character is in the team fight, and here we can see how hard it is to close out Route 66. Germany playing for the win here. They want that map 5. They want to stay alive in this series, and it looks like they might be doing it here. Nesh has the Graviton Surge. Kodak with the Transcendence, ready to answer that from Poco.
Ben Best holding on to the Shatter. Early Shatter, knocks down Mete, but not much else. Graviton in from Germany, trying to fight back. Transcendence used really early in the fight, but it's not in time for the grab. Grab pulls up Mete. They're looking for D-Mac. Nice Zarya bubble, keep him alive, and they punish Ben Best. Meanwhile, Mete gets out of the fight. The focus fire from France simply not there, and they're down to their final attempt.
France has one try left, and it's really only Soon's rally that they'll have to work with. Wins might be able to get that beat drop in time, but it's far from certain. France is going to be in a last-second contest situation. They've tried and failed time and time again, but will overtime be the catalyst that they need?
We'll just have to see. Progi holding to Earth Shatter. Can Cranks set him up once more? You got to take a look to Cranks here. Progi in the back. Cranks right with them. Ben Best, the target they're looking for. The crowd trying to give France some energy here. Earth Shatter gets nothing. Cranks wasn't there. Now France, a real opportunity. Germany, they invest the barrier preemptively. They try and dive in. France isn't phased. Now France gonna drop the beat. A transcend to their own, a grab of their own. They move on in. They take down Nesh. The threat is over. Looking now for Cranks. Unco holding on to the Transcendence. It's an edge for France. Earth Shatter out. Immortal down. France moving in. Progi out of the fight. And Unco still on the Transcendence. Still just patient. France is doing it. They're going for extra rounds.
France has so much control on the payload. That was the shadow that Ben Best had been waiting for minute after minute. He finally gets it in that overtime scenario. Self-destruct finds nothing. Poco's in the high, but a huge grab on point. France keeping everybody alive. Unco with the patience. Perfect play there. Ben Best swinging for the fences on Cart. Poco at 100 energy.
Down. And this is looking so good. France on the cleanup. Poco moving in. Overtime's in progress. And we still got a game. France doesn't want this to go to 5.
Overtime round here. It's all on the line. Perfectly even scoreline. France had such a great offense in the first half of that map. Stalled out so long on point 3, but the patience, the presence of mind. You could tell Germany a little bit of crumbling there in those final seconds. Every fight before that looked so clinical, so patient. Finally in overtime, they start to feel that pressure. They get a little over-aggressive, use their ultimates first, and without anything gotten out of them, no picks in that team fight, it's France who sweeps back in with their ultimate advantage.
Progi and Cranks were such a dynamic duo throughout all that defense, except at the very end where I think there was just a lapse in communication there where Progi just throws out the shatter. I think he thought the shield bash was coming in, but wasn't the case.
Well, that's how that combo has to work. Your Brigitte calls the bash. She calls when the enemy Reinhardt will be disabled. And that Reinhardt, the Earth Shatter, takes so long to come out that you must trust the call. You can't react to the stun. If you wait to see that the stun is good, your Shatter won't be out in time. So it's really just a question of trust. You have to believe in your Brigitte, and she has to make that right call. If she miscalls, if she calls it and can't find the bash, it's not on the Rein. It's really just, you have to commit. You have to 100% believe in your teammates. Finally, it's benbest and Soon getting the best of that matchup.
Now we got France here coming in. They're, again, going for the clock-killing combination. Is this the right play?
Certainly makes a lot of sense in this situation. It's all about how much heart progress Germany can get. Germany not running the 3-3 setup just yet, but I expect some quick switches to come out. No, they want to maybe favor this Sombra, and oh no, That's just going to go back to the Zarya. That makes a lot of sense in the air. You don't want to challenge a Ryan comp without a Zarya run, but it's Kodak picking up Unko. That's a crucial member of Team France's comp. They can't fight without him. Pogo dropping low, discorded, he's forced to retreat. Now Germany in so much control off the back of a massive opener by Kodak.
And France, they just can't reestablish. Everyone falling bit by bit. That's what happens when you run this composition and you lose your center line. Kodak with so many pickoffs, right, and then finishes off. That was 5 for Kodak, including the all-important early pickoff. What fantastic Zen play coming out.
I think we can call that a Kodak moment.
Ooh, they haven't even given us sponsorship money, man. That's free.
Certainly Kodak making it look good here, finally winning the duel on Unko. Unko only 16% ultimate charge to show for it. That's why that pick is so important. Kodak with the Transcendence advantage. Will Germany be able to capitalize and start the snowball?
We'll have to see. He's going to be real close to Transcendence because of his crazy play. He's going to have it up early. Mete, can he save on time? He does! Gets on into the Diva right away. Keeps him up. The Transcend from Kodak. benbest, Earth Shatter. They're looking for National one hit, but Nico has already given up the mech. France in trouble here. The Diva so vital to the composition as Cranks rocket flail off the Graviton. Germany, it's overtime. They don't care. They're still rolling.
Germany commits a lot of ults, but they still have a few to work with. Kodak, that Transcendence came out so early. He's up to 54% on his next ultimate. Unko only 86%. Kodak really having a standout round here.
Germany in overtime, but time doesn't matter anymore. It's just about how long can they go before losing a fight.
Certainly not looking to lose this next one, although it's Poco's Graviton Surge and a potential massive combo from Team France. It's all on Immortal's B-Drop to keep them alive, or potentially an aggressive shatter play from Cranks and Pogi to shut things down before they can really get started for France.
Poco in a bit of trouble here. Was looking for the grab, and the grab, I think it might have been eaten as Germany moves back in. They take well advantage. Mete with an absolutely massive play there.
That's a complete game saver. It's allowing France to hold on to their Sombra, or excuse me, Germany to hold on to their Sombra. They still have their support ultimates. They would have been forced to commit those without Mete's massive save. Germany snowballing through second point, really making a ton of progress here with just 1 minute of overtime. But the wick has been burning for so long, Germany cannot get up this card for even a second.
If they get off for that moment, it will instantly go to France, but France, they needed that grab. The back-breaking eat going in. And also, speaking of breaking some backs, Kodak has been so good here, has another Transcendence up. France gonna open up the self-destruct. Kodak knew he couldn't move in time, use the Transcend. It's forced out early, but Germany moves in as well. Mete gets 2, and Germany is still punishing France here. The self-destruct does nothing.
It's another huge play from Mete. He sees that self-destruct come out from the enemy Diva, instantly flies in and punishes Nico in that Pilot Diva form. Nico can't remech and is taken down. That's just 150 damage that eliminates an entire Diva mech from the team fight. Great awareness from Mete.
You know what? If we have Jay Jonak as a name right now, I think Kodak has earned his extra K. He's K Kodak right now with how well he's been playing on this Transcendence.
K Kodak lighting it up. I like the sound of that. And now it's Nash's turn with the Graviton. Mete has the self-destruct. We'll see if he's able to play forward. Nash in such a good position.
What
it's all 6 in the grab.
Pulls in everyone for France. The self-destruct to the back line. Here we go. Takes down 2. Germany moving in. France has no answer here. Soon might be able to get Progi, but it's not enough. He'll be back in time, and France is crumbling before this Germany team.
Nash looking so patient, so cool, calm, and collected in this final intense overtime. This is really high-level play from him. He's only used that hiding graviton strategy one time before on Route 66. France caught completely unawares, all 6 in the grab, and the self-destruct wipes the floor with them. Germany now still has a few more ultimates to work with. This is so grim for Team France. It was so much progress for Team Germany.
Kodak has another Transcendence. The man is a monster. Earth Shatter from Progi. France staying in, but the grab answered by a Transcendence. The power of a Zen that's popping off. Germany moving on in. Cranks so low. Is he going to fall? No! The barrier just in the nick of time. Germany moving forward. Kodak off the flank. Already 29%, Jake.
Kodak hitting almost everything here on the flank, looking so clean with these levers, but it's a massive shatter from Ben Best. That could be the end of things for Team Germany. France finally stabilizing here on Road 66 third.
Finally, it ends, but not before a statement from Germany and some top-notch Zenyatta play. Any Zenyatta would love to have that in their highlight reel.
Germany going even further beyond. That massive pick from Kodak sets the tempo of the round. From there, Germany just snowballs their ultimate advantage, absolutely crushing through first, second, and almost all the way through third points. It's only Ben Best with that clutch shatter in the final seconds. Who knows what could have happened if things didn't go their way.
That was just absolutely insane ult economy coming out. Good pickoffs, and again, let's just rewind time here. Channel our inner tracer and how all of this was set up. And yeah, this is Ben Best ending the push. But think back to the beginning, that early pickoff by Kodak, and then the follow through. He gave them the first fight, got the early Transcendence, and that let them get this far to where we're seeing Ben Best there.
I mean, from there, it's really just the clinical team play from Team Germany. Meta eating that graviton from Poco. That allows them to get through second point. Then chases down Nico when he commits the self-destruct, eliminates the Pilot Diva, and follows up onto Soon's Brigitte. Germany just rolling through those points, keeping so many ultimates alive. That's what enables them to snowball for so long in overtime. France, this is a really difficult task ahead of them. Germany wants to go to map 5. They're not giving up on BlizzCon just yet.
Not in the least, and this would completely transform the standings if they could win here and force that 5th map.
Could really shake things up, but France, of course, looking to do just as Germany did. Although Germany now, they know their win condition. They don't need to win this fight, or even the next one or the next one. They have so many opportunities. Soon, getting aggressive. France, they know they have to set the tempo fast.
Germany would just love the burn-off time because, to your point, they only need one fight towards the end. They just can't let France get high momentum, and that's why they're backing up here. They just want to buy some time and look for that one good fight.
If you're Team Germany here, you just need to bank up 6 ultimates and make sure that when you use them all, you're getting a lot of value. France, they have to play this so intelligently, keep their ultimates constantly cycling, never run out of resources. If they do, that could be the end of things, and it's a huge bash, pushing back Ben Best. He does get killed by his teammates.
Nash already so close to Graviton. He's done so much damage here early on. 99%, gonna get mid-fight. Progi just barely getting healed up, not gone yet, and ends up falling down 1. Nash still holding on to the grab, and Germany might not invest here, Jake. They might just wait for another fight. They're being smart.
Poco's opening pick is probably going to scare Germany away. They don't want to commit to a losing fight, especially in an overtime scenario like this. You don't want to give France a team opening. But France, they're doing a great job being conservative. They win that fight with only the Transcendence, and it's mirrored by Kodak, so no one really in an advantageous position. Germany still building that ultimate stack. We'll see if they decide to commit to the next team fight.
And it's really dangerous if they do commit and they don't get the better of it. France could keep this rolling just like Germany did to them just a round ago.
This is the power of this 3-3 composition in an overtime scenario. The spawns are so long. Getting first picks can win team fights, even if you're down in that ultimate economy. So Germany, they need to play this very smart. Need to not take their foot off the gas here. Progi and Cranks have to keep up with those bash shatter combos, get favorable ultimate trades out of France. But Germany just want to take the fight all the way into first point. They want to retake control here. The graviton forced out from Poco.
Early grab coming out here from France. Fall through coming in. Progi down immediately. Cranks wounded. Germany still fighting, but Germany, they don't use anything here, Jake. They just wanted those ults out of France, and I think the next fight is the time they're going to go in.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity. They will have that big ultimate stack. All 6 going to be available very soon into that next team fight. And France only has a few tools to work with. They've got the rally, they've got the self-destruct, but how do you piece that together into a team fight victory? Germany, they're really looking to close this out here potentially, but if France can win this team fight, you never know what can happen in an overtime scenario.
This is must win for Germany. The chance for round 5. Kodak does it again! Finds Unco early on, and here comes Germany moving in 6 on 5. Kodak leading the way. They invest the grab, and the Earth Shatter. Kodak holding on Transcendence. France, poke on the break, Poco down. Kodak still in the back, still healed up by the rally as Germany. Armor across the side, they're cleaning up France, and this is gonna be Germany forcing a map 5. They're not gone yet. Let's see where it goes.
Kodak starting that overtime round off with a bang and finishing it there, taking down his counterpart once again. Kodak making a name for himself here in the Overwatch World Cup. That is what this competition is all about.
This is insane. Not only crazy play coming out Kodak here, but this is something that everyone is watching. This is how players get to the Overwatch League. Huge moments like this under intense pressure. You love to see it happen.
Certainly impressive stuff. I would have thought France would be that team. France would be the team with the experience, with that calm under pressure effect, but it's Germany. They're in that final overtime round. They're able to take it back. Now the series has flipped. It's 2-2, and Germany has so much momentum. France going to be starting to question themselves. It's going to take real mental fortitude to come into map 5 fresh.
No doubt. I mean, this is absolute momentum coming out from Germany, and a legend being born right now where even if Germany doesn't take the final map, Kodak has been insane. But it would be all the more sweeter for this Germany team to upset the standings here in Paris, to make you wonder where things are going to go. And the way they would do that is by defeating France here on this 5th and final map.
And let's see what map we will be going to, that final control map, so important in this final best of 5 series. Germany has the momentum, but France has the experience. Which will prevail here?
And what map is it going to be? Where will it be decided? It's going to be Nepal.
And the story is all right there in the flags. The first half was all France. I mean, they looked so dominant. Things started to turn on the Bonnie, but it was really that second half where Germany has come alive. The composition with Nico is not finding as much success as that with AKM, and Germany absolutely looking to capitalize here on Nepal.
Let me ask you this. If you are the French team right now, you've suffered some blows here where this has not gone the way you were expecting. Suddenly, Germany is back in this. How do you calm it down? How do you play your game?
Well, this is where I have a lot of faith in Team France, where I might not believe in another team. Some teams, you get come back on 2-2, you're back in that half situation, back and now finally the game is losable on this map. That's where the pressure really gets intense. But there's so much experience on this French roster. These are players who aren't going to crumble in this situation. They need to stay calm, stay cautious, and just play their game. We have seen a few moments of crumbling for Team Germany in those pressure scenarios. Not in the second half. Now they're feeling themselves. It's time for France to do just as they did. Stay calm in this scenario and just play their game. But France looks like they might want to switch it up, run something a little different here. Germany's been so dominant on that 3-3 in the last map. If I'm Team France, I want to force something else, force them to adapt and change in this last map scenario. Many better teams have fallen here.
I am curious to see what they end up going for. What do you think about Farah here on the Village? Because it is sort of one of those controversial topics about how good she might be here.
Well, the Farah Junkrat is something that France has run before on this map. Doesn't look like they want to commit to it, though. Going back to that 3-3 setup, they feel confident. This is impressive stuff from Team France. They weren't able to take that final overtime round, but the first round, it did feel like France had so much control. Nesh is on the Sombra. Very interesting. Relying on the hack over this bash and AoE heals with Brigitte. This might come back to bite Team Germany. It's really hard to get good hacks off against the 3-3.
Particularly with how well Cranks is playing on the Brigitte. His combination with Progi was so good, but it's a full-scale swap up here from Germany. France able to get positioning here on the point a little bit earlier. Pressure on the Progi, backs on out. The Moira heals certainly rather intense for keeping it in a fight. Meanwhile, Progi moving on in. Very close to Earth Shatter, way sooner than Ben Best. 88%. So Germany now, they're going to be banking on this Earth Shatter early in the fight. Stun to Progi. He doesn't care. Oh, he falls. He went too deep. Probably should have cared. And now France is moving right on out.
The hack does come out of the Ben Best, but it's just not enough. You see how much more impact that Brigitte has in the Rhine matchup. Progi cannot move in. He's constantly fearing that bash from his opponent. Soon on the Brigitte, getting a ton of value in that team fight. Very even ultimate situation. Kodak will have the coalescence advantage, but Nesh not finding what he was looking for on the Sombra. Gonna make the switch. Still though, this means Soon has a major lead in the Rally. Rally is such an important ultimate in this team fight when everyone is playing together. That's so much armor that you're just gonna have to deal with if you're Team Germany.
Because of the confusion from Germany early on, they have 1 foot in the grave. Cranks though, does have the early grab, but Poker has one quicker, pulls in 3, and it's nice and easy cleanup coming in from France here. They get the first 2 pickoffs. And the thing I would worry about here, Jake, as well, is that Germany's not running their players on the heroes where they were so good on last map. It's a role swap here between Cranks and Nesh.
Very interesting. This now what they wanted. It's because they rolled out on the Sombra, and it could come back to bite them. Nesh was looking so good on the Zarya, and vice versa for Cranks. They're kind of caught on a composition that they don't necessarily favor just because of their ultimate. They can't afford to give up this Graviton Surge. Cranks needs to justify his Zarya play. It's time for the grab to come out for Team Germany.
Germany moving forward. You don't want that grab to be eaten. Certainly, that's what Nico's looking for right now. Cranks needs to get a clean grab. Waiting for it. Earthshot by Progi. It's going to result in a self-destruct from France here early on. Graviton will connect from Cranks, but France, they're able to heal through it. The barrier keeps them nice and healthy. Soon though falls. Brigida's down, and that could be the end here as Germany rushes on in. Big Earthshot by Benbest. Going to knock down two, but the follow-through isn't there. Kodak keeping Germany alive as they start taking control of the point.
Poco has a grab of his own very, very soon here. We'll see if he chooses to commit it soon. Still responding on the Brigida. I'd expect France to back out the ringer, but a massive bash shatter. Nesh can do it too. Nice combo with Progi. That's going to end the team fight, but still, they have to commit the shatter to get that result. France now has that tempo lead, coming back in with their Graviton Surge, and Cranks won't have one to answer it. It's all on Poco. If this grab is big enough, that could be the end of map 1.
This is the advantage France needs here coming back in. But if Poco doesn't get the grab, it could be the start of a big comeback for Germany.
Yeah, definitely. And no combos for Team France, so the grab isn't a certain victory here. Looks like they want to go to point. I like this play. Put that pressure on. Make Germany react to your willingness to cap the point. Poco looks for the grab. Eaten! What a huge play by Meta. Another grab eat on Poco.
Right away, he went for the ground, but the ground wasn't where he needed to go. Medvest saying, I got shatter. It's huge! Knocks down 3. They don't need the grab, the shatter. It's enough. Unco popping off, grabbing 2. And France getting right back into it. The Earth Shatter from Benbest doing just enough. France in place. Self-destruct blocked.
Benbest
that was
back
scary.
just in time.
Scary, scary stuff. France takes round 1.
Wow, that grab eat, I thought that could have been the beginning of a massive turnaround by Team Germany, but it's Benbest with the shatter again, the stopper for this team, keeping them alive. Benbest Reinhardt coming alive in map 5. Now, France just one stage away from taking the map and taking the series.
It's been tough here for France. Germany has been resurgent, but now they can calm it down a bit here, Jake. They have to know 1 round is all they need. They have a bit of a buffer zone. They can breathe a little bit easier.
And it looks like we will be going to Shrine here. This is a classic 3-3 map, one of the original maps where this comp gained popularity. We'll see who's able to play it better. Kodak on the Zenyatta, but it's a little bit more difficult to run on this map. The point being on high ground means that Zenyatta's going to struggle to find those sight lines that he might be able to find on Route 66. Unco also on the Zenyatta, doesn't want to play the Moira. Which Zen will find the pick here?
France immediately going to go to the point. Germany taking the scenic route. They give up a bit of positioning here to France early on, and now Germany pressuring this constant poke battle between Reinhardts. Progi 12, Benbest 17. And France in control here. It's up to Germany to make a move as Progi's low.
Germany has to get that team fight, but the Discord orb from Unco constantly on Progi. He can't move in. He feels that pressure. He can't take the swing trade when he's discorded. Germany is forced off the point, and France takes first capture. They're going to get so much progress no matter what happens in this team fight.
France, firm control right now. Germany struggling to get in, and you take a look at the ults. France is leading that as well. Benbest at 70. Sue, move it on over. Would love to set up for an Earthshot here as soon as Benbest gets it. And Germany's just getting powered on through. Early grab for Poco, and that's all that France needs. They even force out the Transcendence, and Germany gets precious little from it.
Kodak does commit that chance, and exactly as you were saying, no value from it. Poco going deep into the spawn, wants to farm up his next grab, looking for any potential hiding stragglers. That's nice awareness from Poco. No one there, but it's good to check.
France is looking so good right now. 35%, Jake. What does Germany have to do?
At this point, it's looking really rough. Unco and Wins, both with their support ultimates at the ready. They're going to be able to answer any combos that come out from Team Germany. And Progi is so far from his shatter. Benbest has a major lead in this, and the shatters have really been the saving grace for Germany. They need to build one as quick as possible, but instantly burned by the bash from Soon.
No one can stop the shatter now. They might not even have to use it. Benbest going, do I wanna? I really wanna, but I don't need to. And it's going to be France just easily finishing that off. Germany down to their final 2 fights.
Germany potentially crumbling under the pressure, and there's a lot of pressure to crumble under here. France going deep into the spawn. Poco on the high ground, chasing down Meta on the Diva. He's running for the hills, just needs to get healed up, get back in this team fight. But Fridge approaching 99% control, and they have 6 ultimates to work with for this next team fight. That's crushing for Team Germany. They know that France hasn't ulted in so long. They know how much they're up against. We'll see if they're able to do it, potentially crumbling here on Nepal.
It all comes down to this fight. France looking to take the series. Benbest moving forward, early grab, both teams grab, self-destruct up here from France. Nesh down immediately, Earth Shatter coming on in from Benbest. Is the fall through there, they get Immortal! France in front of the hometown crowd. Invest in ults, throwing Germany back. It got a little bit close for a while, but it's gonna be France in firm control here on the Shrine. Overtime ticking down. France fights back, taking the series here against Germany.
What an insane round of Nepal there. France finally playing to their potential, showing their experience, staying so calm under pressure. You have to feel like Germany broke down there a little bit in that moment. Bogey uncharacteristically out of position, not finding the combos they were looking for. France playing so well there in that final map situation. It is the heartbreaker for Team Germany, unable to complete the comeback. France potentially securing their spot for BlizzCon.
And what we saw from France there is that these are some of the most seasoned players in all of Overwatch. They don't crumple under the pressure, even losing 2 straight. They come in very, very strong here in Nepal. They play the same setup, just better. And they're able to take the series, the stuff that champions are made of.
For me, it's that confidence from Team France, staying calm in the clutch. Even though they weren't able to take Route 66, a map that was defined by that triple tank, triple support setup, they keep forcing it on Nepal. They stay confident, they trust each other, address any issues they might have faced, and just get the complete, better, dominant round there out of the 3-3 matchup. We saw so many big plays come out from Team Germany, but it just wasn't enough. Mete with that completely insane Graviton Eid. I thought that was the end of Team France there on the first map, but it's Benbest with the Shatter to save them once again.
You know, all day long, it's been a great day for hungry divas. Just hero play after hero play. And man, Germany might have lost here, but give him some credit as well. Kodak, he's a legend right now in my mind.
Kodak absolutely popping off. Arguably without that performance, Germany wouldn't have been able to take Route 66. France did seem like they were in such control before those picks started rolling in by Kodak. You have to give it to him. Great Zenyatta play.
No doubt about it. And man, this is stuff that you want here in Overwatch. But guys, we're gonna learn a little bit more. We got an interview down on the floor.
We do indeed. Thank you so much, guys. Please, everyone, give it up for wins from Team France. What an intense game we just got to witness. And honestly, everyone thought, of course, that this is going to be a one-sided affair. I'm not going to lie. Everyone expected France to really show up and perform. But Germany gave you a real run for the money. Were you at all surprised at the way they performed?
Oui, alors ils ont vraiment très bien performé, ils sont vraiment très bons. On a fait pas mal d'erreurs. On va essayer de ne pas les faire au prochain match. Concrètement, je pense qu'on aurait dû faire mieux, mais on a quand même rempli le contrat, on a gagné le match, donc c'est ce qui importe.
Okay, so he just said that he was surprised, but they made a lot of mistakes. They're playing good, but the mistakes were maybe coming more from France team, and he's kind of sad because of the mistake, but he will do better for the other match. Of course, the contract is signed, they win the game, so this is all matters, but they will not do the same mistakes for the next match.
All right, I take that as a promise. Now, wins. I talked to Team Germany prior to this match, and they did tell me that they have been up until 1 a.m. They have been reviewing the VODs to really make sure that they're not making the same mistakes as they did yesterday. And they showed up and performed absolutely fantastic. How did your preparation look like for day number 2 of the Overwatch World Cup?
We didn't...
Français, s'il vous plaît?
Okay. Alors, on n'avait pas beaucoup d'informations sur l'Allemagne parce qu'on les a pas eu du tout jouer en practice, mais on a juste regardé leur match hier pour savoir quelle map ils aiment prendre, quelle composition ils aiment faire. Et bon, on n'a pas fait ça jusqu'à 1h du matin, par contre, il fallait dormir. mais on était plus ou moins prêts et on a vu qu'ils étaient super prêts aussi en fonction des compositions qu'on faisait et ils savaient exactement quoi faire.
So they didn't scream a lot versus Germany, but they kind of saw the match yesterday, and so they didn't they didn't do it until 1 in the morning like Germany did, and maybe that's why they were not that prepared than Germany. But they saw Germany was really ready to do it. They actually didn't practice too much to just think about the composition, but they saw they will be there for countering the French composition. They kind of adapt into the game, and that's why maybe it was a little bit hard for them.
All right, it was hard, it was close, but it was a victory. So once again, congratulations to Team France. Wins. Thank you so much for joining me. Luti, thanks again for the translation. We're now heading over back to our casters to break down the action we just saw.
You know, Wins, he's a veteran of FPS gaming period, always confident, and of course, we saw that there in France all throughout the series, and man, it was a close one.
And there's so much action to break down in that series. What a nail-biter. I wasn't expecting it to be that close, frankly. I didn't think Germany was ready to push France to the limit, but they certainly did here. Wow, what an impressive turnaround in the second half. Germany going down 2-0 and just completely flipping the script in those third and fourth maps, managing to take it. And that overtime round on Route C6, I'm at a loss for words.
It was absolutely crazy. Now, it does mean that Germany is very unlikely to get over to BlizzCon now, but what a way to go down there where you show off just the absolute highlights of the players. And speaking of highlights,